Now I know it just seems like I'm making all these negative videos about Black Ops 4, and yes, this one's going to be another negative video, and it would seem like I enjoy making these, or I'm trying to do them for views, like a couple of people say, but one, it doesn't get views, and two, I do not like making these videos. I know it's hard to believe, I actually do not like making videos completely about Black Ops 4. I actually do not look forward to this. I'm thinking of a video I can make that people are going to watch, or that will be helpful, and so one way or another, and that every single time I think about that and try to think of a good video to make, I mean, every single time I just constantly in the top of my head think of the negative things that need to be fixed inside Black Ops 4. I mean, that's all that happens every single time I think of this game. It's just like, man, there's problems with Black Ops 4 that need to be fixed, and it just doesn't make sense to me why so many of these problems are still a problem, but I mean, there's not much you can really do about it. But anyways, as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about leaderboards inside Black Ops 4. And before anybody actually tells me that there are leaderboards in Black Ops 4, be quiet. I don't care. I don't want to see friends leaderboard, just your leaderboards compared to your friends. I mean, yeah, that's cool to an extent, but it's just like, I'm better than you once, and then all of a sudden it's just like, what do you do after that? And it's just like, oh, okay. And even on top of that, I mean, at least in Blackout, because Zombies has it worse compared to multiplayer and Blackout, because Zombies just has one leaderboard with your friends that's just all around points, I believe, or kills. I can't even remember what exactly it is. It's just everything. It's not for different maps. It's not for headshots, doors open, like in Black Ops 2, which were by far my favorite leaderboards, where you could see doors open, miles traveled, and all that stuff, which was really cool. And I think it was also inside Black Ops 3 inside Zombies, but now Zombies just has global, and I'm assuming that's points or kills. I'm not exactly sure. I can't be bothered to actually look at it, but it's just like, I mean, at least inside multiplayer, you can see TDM, free-for-all, domination, all different ones. You can see them all there and see how you can compare them to the different modes. And then even in Blackout, you have solo, duos, and quads, which you can compare all those two separately. But Zombies just has global, whatever that's supposed to be. And they're not even global leaderboards. They're actually not global leaderboards, because all of them inside Zombies, multiplayer, and Blackout, they're all just between your friends. You can just see who's the best between your friends. And I just look at that thinking, it's almost the end of January. It's almost February, guys. Like, the game came out in October, and I don't know if you guys realize, well, really the main reason I just waited till this point to make this video, because today, actually yesterday, but I couldn't be bothered to make this video yesterday, but pretty much today is the day that, if you go back to 2017, is the day that Infinite Warfare added in leaderboards, and leaderboards that were global and not just between your friends. You can see everybody's just score if you wanted to. And the thing is, not only does it mean that we're at the exact same points for when Infinite Warfare got it, except back in this day, but you have to remember, Black Ops 4 launched a month early, so, I mean, it's been even longer than Infinite Warfare. So, I mean, if you're doing something worse than Infinite Warfare, well, not to me, but to most people this is, if you are doing something worse than Infinite Warfare, you're probably not doing so well. I'm just saying, if that doesn't convince you that there's not a problem with Black Ops 4, I don't know what else, because they're even adding global leaderboards later than they did in Infinite Warfare. I mean, it's a bit strange. That's all I'm going to say. It is weird. So I just, that's the main reason I'm making it today, just because it's been so long, and I just don't know what to say about it. And the problem with this, and I know most people don't care about leaderboards, but for the really hardcore audience, especially the Zombies players audience, like people like Frenzy is the guy who complains about this more than anybody else. He makes the complaint that there aren't leaderboards at the very least inside this. I mean, that's kind of awkward. I mean, how else are you supposed to like really know who's the best at what in Zombies? You can't really brag about your grinding the leaderboard. You can't even grind the leaderboards in multiplayer like I guess the Korean Savage does normally, but he can't do that right now, because even if he did, he wouldn't even know where he landed. So it's just one of those. And me personally, I'm really kind of disappointed in the lack of just leaderboards for Blackout, because I feel like I would rank higher there, at least the top, I don't know, 10-20%, somewhere right there. I would like to confirm that, see how good of a player I am, and not as much zombies, because normally that's the one I would care about, because I just like to see where I am in zombies. But for some reason there's always about 30 billion people better than me at zombies, even though I've in the past played that more than any other mode. So it's just something I find strange. But regardless, I mean, Blackout may be that mode that for me that maybe I rank good. I don't know. Multiplayer, again, there's always been 50 billion people ahead of me, so I don't know. It's just the situation that we are all here to deal with, that hopefully gets resolved eventually, if not sooner rather than later, or however you use sayings. I don't know how to use sayings, and I don't even know how they're said most of the time. But anyways, I just want to mention a couple things here, just to tell you guys exactly my thoughts on the lack of leaderboards and why they're not there, because I guess I already gave my thoughts on the lack of leaderboards, but my thoughts on why they are not there, maybe the reasons why. And I can think of two different reasons, and one has to do with Exclusive Ace. If you guys don't know, he's a multiplayer YouTuber who just goes really in depth inside all the multiplayer stuff, and more recently, I guess Blackout 1's custom games were added over there, so he could just test a bunch of different things. And I'll actually link this video, or maybe, yeah, it's an old video, whatever. It's for World War II, and I'm sure none of you guys are actually going to click on that, because who cares about a video that was made on World War II like almost a year ago? Not many people. But what he did is actually to find out how many people are actually playing the game at this current time, because leaderboards in the past, you were able to change them, or not in the past, but just in our last game inside World War II, and really all the games before that, what would happen is that you could actually change all of your settings to leaderboards, to the all-time leaderboards, to the month leaderboards, or the weekly, and that's what Exclusive Ace used inside his video. And I actually use this in my video for World War II Zombies, just to find out how many people were playing World War II Zombies. But what you could do there is see how many people signed in and actually played a match, at least a match of multiplayer, and of course that would land them on the leaderboards, which would tell you how many people were playing. And of course at the time, I think it was around, I can't remember, it was like a couple 100,000 or maybe 100,000, I can't exactly remember, but regardless, it was just to show the player count and how many people were actually playing Call of Duty at that point. And as you guys all know, they've taken out player count inside Call of Duty lately, so they may have saw that, hey wait, the leaderboard kind of exposed how many people are actually playing this, and that may be the reason why we don't have it. I'm not going to say that's for sure. Maybe it's just because Treyarch is slow and it's not on Activision, but I mean, it is a possibility that Treyarch just don't see as a priority and stuff like that. But there's also the option, and this is, I guess, the third one, is that Activision, again, yes, I don't know, you guys may not have noticed this, but I'm not a fan of Activision in the slightest, and I try to look at every single problem and think, how is this Activision's fault? In which way did Activision F this up, guys? Like, that's what I think about every single time I look at a problem inside Call of Duty. And most of the time, I come to the conclusion maybe it's not actually Activision's fault, but, you know, this one actually may be, because you have to remember, especially if you guys haven't heard about how Activision has been treating all of its games that it publishes and all that stuff, is that they're really telling their developers, hey, we got to cut corners at every single possible place, and you know, just don't put the work into places that aren't necessary. So anything that isn't necessary to the game is kind of just put on the back burner or just cut out entirely. And this is what we assume we see with factions inside zombies, and maybe leaderboards or global leaderboards inside just the game as a whole. And I honestly feel it's that one, to be honest. I mean, there is that conspiracy theory that I said first, that they just want to hide their player counts. They're so desperate to do that. And yeah, that's possible. And yeah, it's also possible that Treyarch is just slow, or they don't see it as a priority currently. Or the most likely one, at least to me, is that Activision are not really, well, telling them not to work on things that aren't a necessity. And that's kind of how Activision has been treating them. If you guys don't believe me, I mean, I can't imagine there's anybody who doesn't believe me when I say that, but if maybe you don't, it's actually from a Kotaku article that I actually talked about in a video that I made, why Activision sucks and the failure publisher, that you may have seen. I'll put it on screen right now if you guys want to check that video out. But anyways, that's all I really wanted to say today. Didn't want to do too much ranting. I just wanted to do it in a nicer way. Just bring up a problem that is currently with the game without getting angry about it or without doing anything else, and just coming up with some weird ideas for how or why this is a thing in the first place. But anyways, that's about it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, don't forget to do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and especially bell, and also comment, because apparently commenting is important and that's cool. But regardless, I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys in the next stream, video, or whatever. Maybe probably a video, because I'm not going to be doing too many streams lately, excuse me. But anyways, later guys.